I was on the.
Good morning, Ozarks, and everybody in the Planet 417. We have Emma Alexander. Alexander, did I say that right? Yeah.
Yep.
And,
Every day.
I've been so self-conscious about pronouncing everybody's names this morning. And Laura Daughtery.
Correct.
Yeah, are here today filling in upgrades. Don't tell them I said that. And we'll talk to them after this.
Is.
And we are here. Well, gals, thanks for being here. Feel woefully outnumbered, as Lauren usually does.
Woo!
That's okay.
Yeah.
So, Emma, you're on here quite a bit. People probably are familiar
I
with you.
love to regularly visit.
Yep. But introduce yourself, and then we'll let Laura tell the folks who she is.
Oh, cool.
Also.
This is fun. This is different. I'm Emma. I am your local farmer, even if we haven't met. Some of you might have seen me at the seasonal greenhouse over at the Apple Market parking lot. I am a horticulturalist by trade, and I've been growing things for 20 years. But I came up with that love of growing things and raising things out on the family farm. And so we grow cows and pigs and goats for eating, and that is a lot of my focus these days. And we're going direct to consumer with those products. So if you have any questions about meat or the food we eat or the food and fiber that we consume, if I don't know the answer, I know somebody who does.
Yeah, and that's what's really cool about a community like this is if you've got your network, you can find just about anything you need right in our own little town.
Yeah.
So, we wanted to do we were doing some landscaping. We wanted to do some natural foliage around our pond. Call Emma. Emma, we want to do natural foliage. She brings me some seeds, and that's what we do.
How's the pond project going?
It's there. It's good.
And your little trees are happy.
The trees are happy. The frankenfruit trees are doing great. I put a bag over them.
Frankenfruit?
Yeah.
I gotta hear this.
So, I took like a peach tree, a cherry tree, and I don't know what else, a pear tree, and I stuck them all in the same hole together. And
did you grade them or did you just push them together?
I just pushed them together.
So they're just cohabitating.
Expecting them to grow up and be one tree that produces 3 different fruits.
Ooh.
And, everybody thinks I'm crazy, but that's,
It'll look really cool.
I think
if
it'll
he
look cool. I
succeeds.
think it'll be neat. Emma says she thinks it'll work. So that gave me a lot of confidence.
All right.
And I just figure, you don't know until you try. So,
Why
and then
not?
I got a cherry tree planted and I got another pear tree planted, but because it's cicada year. So I put the white bags, the mesh bags over them so they're all covered up. But
Is it weird that I have no cicadas at my house?
Yes.
I don't think I have any either.
Oh, up here where you all are living, right?
I don't know. But, but back to the pond. So I had put a pump in the pond so I could create a little, moving water
Right.
feature. and I moved where the hose came out, and now my pond is red. So I'm assuming I must have picked
Yeah.
up a bunch of clay
Oh, yeah.
silt,
Stirred something up.
and is running down there. 'cause
Is
my
anybody
pond's
else
red.
concerned that Beth is not present?
Yeah.
Where are you, Beth?
Yeah, well, she probably heard Lauren wasn't going to be here, and we're just
But
not
I'm
good enough.
here.
We're not good enough for Beth. To
Beth
wanna
and I
join
are
the show.
neighbors, even
Oh,
though I have
wow.
no idea where she lives.
Okay.
Okay, so Laura,
Laura's my architect.
Hi, I'm Laura Daughtery, and yes, I am an architect. I've been working in architecture like Emma for over 20 years now, and do a little bit of commercial, a little bit of residential. I love doing both. I like splitting my time between it, uses different sides of my brain, and do small projects, big projects, all of the above.
Yeah, so it's just fun to get people on here. You guys love the community. You're part of Rogersville. You love Rogersville, and you guys have watched the Waffle. You know how this works. You just got to bring it. You just got to keep talking about stuff. So what'd you guys
just
do for
talk about something.
I
What'd
want
you
to
guys-
know why I have no cicadas.
I don't know. That's I was expecting, like, I was thinking it was coming in like the Moses plague,
Yeah.
from Exodus, that the cicadas. were
Okay,
coming
so
and
have you seen
eat everything.
on oak trees particularly, like they're dotted with brown? Have you noticed that up here?
I have not,
Okay, have you not seen that?
but I do remember as a kid finding the shells.
Right. So it's not dotted with brown, the shells, like the ends of the limbs.
Okay.
Like right at the very end,
Yeah.
and then there's like 5 brown leaves. It looks like the ends of the branches have been broken off.
Yeah,
You guys aren't seeing that up here.
I don't know.
I haven't noticed it.
Well, you might take a look. Like when you're driving down 60 and there's like oaks
Yeah, like I
over
can see
here.
that while I'm driving down 60.
At 80.
I don't know.
Whoops.
I'm the judge.
I mean,
Lord.
I
Can't say
noticed.
things like that.
Anyway, that's cicada damage. It's not going to kill the trees, but something about the way they lay their eggs in that top layer of soft bark, and then it breaks that branch, so those leaves aren't connected anymore. You get these brown spots in your tree,
Okay.
and then those eggs are going to fall to the eggs or larvae. I failed entomology, by the way. It's okay.
Well, it's okay. You're a farmer, not a rancher.
It
so-
fell to
well,
the
I guess you're a
ground.
rancher too, but
Fell
you're
to
not
the
an
those
insect wrangler.
bugs are going to fall to the ground, and then they'll burrow into the dirt where they stay until they come out like the apocalypse, like they have this year. So
Well, when I
that's-
was a kid, I just thought that was as cool as anything, is to find that.
They were really
complete. I mean, it's an intact
they were really neat.
carapace, I guess would be the correct word.
I didn't know that word.
I don't know. It's something about
P-A-C-E, carapace.
being south of the Finley River. It's just a whole different world down there. Because 30
Yeah.
days ago, yes, it was like this war song
I was
humming constantly.
I was getting attacked at a meeting in Branson in
Yes.
the trees. I mean, they were literally just landing on us.
Well, in the
whole
ground,
time.
I had a tree under an elm tree where it looked like the ground was moving where they were at one day. It was crazy. It has way toned down. I haven't seen one.
We
in
got
a few
nothing
days.
like that up here.
No,
So,
I don't even
I mean-
have like what I normally have. So
Unless
it's like
that's
they
what's
migrated.
unless that's what's turned my pond red. That's the only thing. I don't know. The only thing I can think of. What'd you guys do this weekend?
What did you do?
Oh, well, we've decided to install a hillbilly irrigation system in our yard.
Yes, love it. I love all things
Okay.
hillbilly, so
Yes.
you made my day.
So far, today was the first day. Sprinklers came on. They worked. They sprayed.
And
so-
what makes this a hillbilly?
We just bought pieces, parts, and designed and
Okay.
did all the calcs ourselves.
Okay,
So
all right.
not knowing what we're supposed to be doing.
DIY.
Whirl.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
DIY.
I mean, you
have-
could call it DIY. I
Yeah.
prefer hillbilly.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I admire that very much. We have gotten to the point where I'm like, please don't, just call someone.
Yeah.
We don't have time for this. We
You
don't
know,
have time for the
one of
mental
them-
anguish. We don't have time for the.
I mean, it's only taken 4 months to
Yeah,
from
only.
start to finish. So yeah, that's the payoff.
One of them smart people that I pay to help make me smarter said one time, you need to focus on who, not how. So when you have an idea, the idea is your idea. It's a good idea. You're probably not the person
To execute.
who can execute it. So quit spending your time figuring out how to do it, and spend your time figuring out who can do it. And
That's good advice.
And hire them to do it for you.
Intriguing.
It was a light switch moment, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you just think about all the time, and you think, well, I'm saving money because I'm doing it myself, but are you?
Yeah.
I mean, are you really?
No, you're not.
And I mean, I think all three of us could testify and tell a story. Oh, I'll just sketch out my own plans.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just write my own contract. I'll just figure out my own field and
Yep.
all that stuff.
There are definitely areas where I know to stay in my lane.
Yeah.
And one of them is electrical. You
Yeah.
do not want me wiring anything. I am terrible at it.
Well, I hope the old boy is out the house today wiring electrical, knows what he's doing.
We learned about that with plumbing. Like, we had 2 or 3 plumbing faux pas, and I'm like, we're not plumbing anything ever again. And when he starts talking about, oh, maybe we should call someone to do that, or we should do this, we just need this and this, then before he gets that done, I call someone and they show up.
It's a good way to do it. Just
So,
Fantastic.
circle back.
yes. Our trouble is with those projects is, let's say it takes 10 hours to complete. We generally seem to magically only have 8. Before we have to give a ride to someone or go do the next thing, or the weather changes, and then it sits there
Yeah, we know how that
kind of for an indefinite
we
period
knew
of
how that
time.
rolled. We have all adult children now.
It's a different world.
It is. It is.
I was trying to think of a good topic this morning, and I was thinking about the soul searching that I am trying to do. And I must not be old enough to do it because I don't have time. Like, I don't have mental space. Like, I can't get quiet anywhere and just sit and think for a while because there's something to do. But I bet you get to do that.
No.
No.
I actually had this conversation just down at the coffee shop this morning at Storytime Coffee. Was talking with Warren, one of our good builders around here. One of our good builders around here. He asked me, he says, well, how's retirement going? And I'm like, what my cause, this is retirement, but I'm not retired. And I said, it's like my dad says, the problem with retirement, you're never getting any days off.
You're retired
True.
every day.
Most people are busier.
And then, I was having the conversation the other day. I says, all you need to do if you want to be successful is work half a day. Just, if you can put in a good solid half a day, you'll be successful. 12 hours. We're not asking for more than that. Just half a day, and
not
you'll be
bad.
fine. No problem.
12 hours.
12
I
hours,
like
half
it.
a day.
What did you do over the weekend? Do you even know what the weekend is?
Yeah, I do. I worked. No, we did. We were here working some. We did a little cleaning out of the basement because we, got some guys in there doing some work. That was really probably most of our weekend was focused on that.
You?
We did something very exciting this weekend. So most of the critters are pretty quiet right now. It's mostly goats all the time. The goats are creating the drama,
As goats do.
different drama every day.
You have goats, Laura?
No.
No. Okay.
Been around them.
You've been
Laura
around.
is a goat cuddler.
I do love the goats. Oh, my goodness. I love baby goats.
So this past Saturday in Marshfield, which we don't give a whole lot of shouts out to Marshfield because it's like a whole nother world up there,
Yeah.
even though it's our county seat,
yeah.
Seems so far.
Oh, it's the people from the north, right?
On the north side.
Leading into the Webster County Fair, which is this week, if you want something
Oh.
to do.
Well, that might be entertaining.
There was a committee of people that put together the first annual Webster County Market Animal Show and Sale,
Oh.
which what that is for kids, it's not even necessarily farm kids. There's a lot of kids that are in FFA because we're getting these FFA buildings and centers. It's kids in town that just want to learn about agriculture. They're getting these animal projects, and then they're getting to show them at local fairs.
Do you happen to know what nights the rodeo is going to be going on? Because we like to go watch the rodeo.
Wednesday and Thursday, I believe,
All right.
is
We
the
may have to
rodeo
make-
nights
We have to make a point of that.
this week.
Okay.
This
So
week? Well, that's 4th of July this
Yeah.
week.
it's always on the 4th of July. That's their thing.
Oh.
Well, that's unfortunate because we've got plans.
I know, right?
Yeah.
In the south part of the county, we do different things. Anyway,
Hey, John, thanks for jumping on. Good to see you.
Hey, there's John. It's nice there's somebody out there.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think they heard Lauren wasn't going to be here. Did
Yeah.
y'all announce that?
I don't know. I don't
Maybe-
think we try to keep it under wraps. Because,
Right.
You know,
You don't
she's
want
the
people
anchor
knowing.
of the show. If it's just me and Chris, nobody. We don't even bother doing the show if Lauren's not here.
So here's the thing. These kids have a project animal that they're raising. The goal is to get the animal to gain weight, to sell at market, et cetera, right? They're learning responsibility. They're learning about animal husbandry. They're learning patience because you're putting this animal on some kind of rope and you're supposed to take it out into a show ring so a judge can evaluate it. That's the show part, right? And then in order to support the youth of the communities, there's several places that have a youth auction. this market sale where kids can sell that animal. They have 2 different kinds. It's either terminal, so you can buy a goat and take it home with you, which most people don't want to do, right? Because they're not crazy like me.
You don't mean like terminal, like it's got like 3 months to live? Terminal.
Not terminal, like terminal, this is the end of the sale. Like when, if
Just
you...
for clarification purposes. Now,
You can do
if
whatever
it's a
you
meat
want.
goat, it might be terminal.
You can do whatever you want with
Right.
the animal in a
It's a different-
terminal sale. If
different
you
process.
were to terminally purchase an animal, you can take it home as a pet. You can eat it. You can, that's up to you as a
It's your
buyer.
goat at that
It's your
point.
buyer. But they also have
goat.
premium sales
Yep.
because a lot of times these kids may show at a smaller sale and want to participate in an auction, but then they want to go on to the Ozark Empire Fair or the State Fair with that animal, so they need to retain that animal. So you get what you call premium buyers, and they will buy this youth's animal at auction just for the express purpose of supporting the youth.
Got it.
They're going to write them a check. That flashed. You're right.
I am. I'm
And
No, the lights flash. So here, no, they do. Hey, Diana, and Alex, and everybody else is used to it. So we've been trying to. I'll let you finish the story, but we've been trying to run it down, and we thought maybe our cables weren't the right gauge cables, and what we basically come down to is the computer that runs the software that runs the lights is just when we're running a broadcast. It just doesn't have enough horsepower to keep up.
Got it.
So every once in a while, the lights will flash because it only does it while we're broadcasting. I mean, we can have the lights on for hours, hours, as long as that computer's not broadcasting.
It's like a blink. So for a
It's just
second,
a
you're
little-
like, did I just do that? Or
It was
Yeah,
a picture.
No, it's
They were taking our picture.
It's part of it. It's a feature, not a bug.
It's exciting.
Not a bug. It's a feature.
so exciting.
All right.
So-
premium.
So the premium buyer purchases that animal and writes a check to that youth. The youth gets to keep the check and the animal.
Oh wow.
And the buyer gets positive press, right?
Okay.
So my boys were excited because it's the first time. So for a first time show, they had 13 animals, which was good. It was a good showing. There was some adversity in going into the event. So the 2 ladies that really worked hard on it, Blair Gann and Riley Bolden out of Marshfield, and then they had a host of friends that helped them. They did a phenomenal job putting on, kind of bringing something up from the ground, creating this opportunity for these kids. So I want to shout them out for sure. Small amount of animals. My boys were the only 2 goats there. So they were excited to win champion and grand champion and reserve champion in the show. I mean, that's always fun, right? Sometimes it pays to show up.
Yeah, it does.
And then
when we coached kids in Taekwondo and took them to tournaments, we always told them, listen, you beat everybody that stayed on the couch.
Yep.
Yeah.
You beat every one of them.
For sure.
Because they didn't even show up.
True story. And then I've got to shout out a very nice individual whose name I can't remember and I can't pronounce. I know, right? That's terrible. But she didn't write it down for me. Just some individual that sent in some money and bought Travis's goat, essentially. And then Marshfield Electric bought Lucas's goat.
Very nice.
Very nice.
And he's a swell guy. Got to take some pictures with him. So that was our weekend.
Nice.
And plus some family, some food, some fireworks. Did anybody go to the Rogersville fireworks thing?
I didn't.
I missed it.
Did you miss it?
Yeah.
Oh, it
But
was exciting.
Irrigation
we
system.
passed out. We donated. We gave them like 500 I Heart LR
Oh,
white T-shirts that says K-Raj on the back. K-Raj TV
cool.
on the back. We donated them to the park to give out. So I'm hoping those all got disseminated and given to everybody.
So we
And if you
did
got one. Give us a comment. Let us know
this
you got-
side of the family and watched the parade, which was really short for an election year. Short but mighty.
Yeah, there must not be too many contested.
Yeah,
races.
they must feel pretty good about it. So we watched the parade, had a hot dog, went on over to the other side of the family where we celebrate. I mean, the highlight is the homemade ice cream because we have that technology. Watched the storms starting to roll in. So we started fireworks early, a little bit before 9. And it wasn't long before they started going off at the park. And I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
because we could see the park
Yeah.
from where we were. We got like double whammy there. I'm like, they're early. And Mark's like, if they don't do it now, they're not going to get to do it.
Yeah, the homemade ice cream was always kind of the one of the features of our gathering at our house, our compound out there. And the great aunts always made that. It was a little bit of competition, but we're running out of great aunts.
That's true.
I'm running out.
The trouble is running out of great aunts. What's your 4th of July traditions?
Well, my neighbor actually has a big family reunion every year, and we are kind of absorbed into his family. And so we do that, and then everybody goes to the street and shoots fireworks. And it sounds like World War III at our house for...
Nice.
That's cool, because you're just out in the county over this way, right?
Yeah. Yep. I do realize that I did, however, kind of bury the lead on my weekend. I forgot because, I just get to running. We actually went and we got to see Nate Bargatze. We went to the Nate Bargatze show.
Okay, somebody, y'all tell me and all these other people that don't know who he is.
You don't know who Nate Bargatze is.
I've been on the farm.
You need to get on the YouTubes.
Comedian.
You need to get on the YouTubes, and you need to look up Nate, Natebargatze, Nate Bargatze is how he pronounces it, but it looks like Bargatze.
Right. What kind of comedian have we got here?
Well, he's from Tennessee, so he's like kissing cousins over there, right? He's kind of like us. He talks a little bit like us, and you don't feel like he had some New Yorker with him, and you could tell he wasn't from around here. He didn't talk like us, and that's okay. But he was funny anyway. But no, he's a clean comedy. He doesn't not a single. He could deliver his show in your church, and you wouldn't blush.
And he's hilarious
from what he does.
Well, that's
which
great.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
And because he led that show, all of his comedians led their little bit. He had like 4 warm-up guys, and they did like 10 minutes each, and they were all clean. One of them got a little it wasn't the words; it was the subject matter. Was maybe a little, if there were young ears, that might have been a little over the line, but no, really, it was a really good show. He's super funny. He came out in a baby blue, MSU Bears hoodie, and he's just the most deadpan, down to earth.
Oh, he's so down to earth.
He is so funny. And he plays like he's dumb, but you can't do that if you're dumb.
Super bright.
You can't do that if you're dumb.
Yeah.
You just can't. That takes some horsepower up in the noggin.
But he talks about regular family stuff.
Oh,
when he says it, it's so hilarious.
So I don't think I should
Give us a bit.
I don't want to rip off his stuff. I mean, that's not cool. You should just YouTube him. But I did. He's hosted Saturday Night Live, and so I went back and watched that one, and they actually pre-show showed one of the bits from Saturday Night Live where he was. Have you seen that one, Laura?
I haven't seen
where
it.
He's George Washington.
Oh my God!
And he's like, "Men, we shall have a free country. Our country shall be free. We shall have our own system of weights and measures.
That was a great idea.
There'll be 12 inches to a foot.
It was a wonderful idea.
Yeah." And it will confuse, and the Europeans will throw hissy fits.
Yes. And confuse everybody for eternity.
And he says, what do you say? He says, 2,000 pounds shall be called a ton. Well, what will 1,000 pounds be called? Nobody knows. He's funny. I'm not going to do any more. I'm not him. And,
I'm pretty sure
he
that
do his own jokes.
normal stuff that happens to us can be funny to everybody else if we just figure out how to present it.
Really
I would love to do that,
Well,
in a different.
He was raised
world.
really sheltered, right? So a lot of his comedy goes off the fact that of him opening up to this world that he didn't think existed, and just his experiences of a fish out of water, being exposed to all these crazy things.
You may have a little more information than I do. Was he like homeschooled? Was that the
sure.
deal?
I'm not sure. He's just talked about how his family was strict.
What I think is the most interesting thing he's revealed about himself in some of these shows is that his dad was a magician.
Oh.
So his dad was like a stage magician. That's like what his dad did, I guess, for a living.
Okay.
He just, had the whole tux and the whole deal.
That's a different childhood in itself.
Yeah, no kidding. But anyway, I'm not going to tell his stuff. You need to go watch him on YouTube, subscribe to his podcast. He's a really funny dude.
I'm sure it's a little different than the Joan Rivers comic show I went to years ago.
Probably, yeah. Was it a little what they call blue?
Yeah, it was a little little raunchy at times.
Yeah, we went with some friends, acquaintances, friends. They're friends. We just don't get to spend much time with them, and we've known them for a long time, and we met them a long time ago, and we didn't see each other for years. But we're in the same town. We're on Facebook, and they've started coming to our church. Well, we went with them to the show, and I almost forgot my point, but I remembered now. Because they were talking about, we have a comedy club in Springfield, the Blue Room.
The Blue Room.
And he kind of made the point kind of on a side swipe, like I should have known if the Blue Room, it was going to, there was going to be some sensitive, shocking, things. And I'm like, oh, that's why they call it the Blue Room. And it's just one of those things that's just like,
I had never
it's
clicked
like
with me either.
I should have realized that that's why they call it the Blue Room.
I have not yet caught up, so don't worry. I'm not concerned. It's all right.
Do you know what when a comedian says they're going to work blue? Do you know what that means?
No.
It means they're going to use foul language and offensive topics, and nothing's.
Well, then we should just color code them all, shouldn't we?
No holds
That's
barred.
a great idea.
They should have to wear the color of shirt.
Yeah,
Maybe they do that and we just don't know it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Yeah,
they
when
color
the
code each
comedian
other?
says they're going to work
Probably.
blue, you need to get the
So
kids
what's clean?
out of the. Well, I don't know.
Red?
I think they just call it clean.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're into that,
They're
Dry Bar
very-
Comedy on YouTube and Facebook, you can find that and follow that. There's some really funny people on there. Dry Bar Comedy, and it's all clean comedy, good stuff. You can watch it with the kids in the room, and that's a nice thing to be able to do these days, because sometimes you don't know. You're just watching your regular old, 7:30 sitcom, and
Yeah.
I didn't want them to see that.
I had somebody
there
once
it
tell
is.
me they watch sports because that's the only thing that's still clean.
Yeah.
And I thought, that is, in sports, yeah, occasionally there's something, but for the most part, yeah, that's pretty safe. And other than that,
It's difficult.
Not
We
so
watch a
much.
lot of we're watching a lot of stuff from the 80s and the 90s. Watching those old shows, we're watching, Cheers. Now,
Isn't it funny how things
But-
like Cheers or like Frasier? I watched Frasier when I was younger.
Yep.
Maybe I shouldn't have. But now,
do you
it's-
catch some more things?
I don't know. I don't remember catching anything before. Travis, stop it. Sorry, I just couldn't
we have a live studio
stand
audience
it anymore.
today.
He's touching stuff.
Can we
Quit
get a
it.
camera on our live studio audience?
And keep your feet
no,
off
we
the
cannot.
furniture.
We cannot get a camera.
That is
on
not
our
for
live studio
feet.
Audience.
I don't remember catching anything back then,
Yeah.
I mean, it was probably above my head, and
Well,
that's why
I
I
mean,
watched
I-
it anyway. But now I watch it, and I just belly roll at some of that stuff. I'm like, this was not this funny when I was a
I
kid.
talked about this with Chris and Lauren when we were on. We talked about this when we started watching Cheers. I'm like, I did not realize that the entire show was basically centered around Sam pursuing women sexually. I didn't know. I didn't understand as a teenager in Southwest Missouri that was basically the point of the show.
Right.
Like, I thought it was just these. I thought it was
Friends
about
at a bar.
a bunch of friends hanging out. at a bar.
Norman
Yeah.
and Cliff.
That's pretty much what it was for me. It was all about Norman Cliff
Yeah.
and Woody.
And Woody, yeah.
Yeah.
And Coach is funnier than Woody.
Coach was
Best.
I find that watching that stuff, like for bedtime, we go to sleep to Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah.
Which
That's a
I
good
didn't
sh-
know
that's a
anything
good
about
show.
Hogan's Heroes when I was young, because I think it was old and
Yeah,
on paid
it's 'cause
TV.
you're too young.
Right. Well, when we got married, my husband wanted to buy disc sets of Hogan, and I'm
yeah.
like, why?
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
Never
So then
watched
I
it.
was like,
You've never
"You've
watched
got
Hogan's
to try
Heroes?
Hogan's Heroes.
I don't think so.
And I
know
so
nothing.
so now I have like
I
this
do know that quote.
I have this love affair with Hogan's Heroes, and one of my best memories is when I was expecting Travis. When I got down to the latter parts, I would run Lucas to preschool, and then I would run home, and that was like my time to keep my feet up. And I would watch Hogan's Heroes, and I got to laughing so hard one day, like everything was shaking so hard it hurt. But yeah, I find comfort from
Yeah,
that. Like
yeah.
at 9 o'clock when I crawl in bed, like even though I don't make it through very much of it, I find that comforting, and it's easier to like watch Frasier or Cheers or Friends or Hogan than watch one of these new shows, not just because of the content that might be in it, but because you don't know those stories.
Well, they now
and you have to
everything is sequential now.
well, and your
Used to it was
brain
like,
has
this
to
is the
work
thing.
at it.
this is the thing for this show. And then it's like,
Yeah.
pick up the next episode and it has nothing to do with what previously happened.
That's interesting. There's two different kinds of shows out there. There are shows that have, like, this season, there's going to be a storyline for this season.
Yes.
You know, and my wife doesn't like those. I like those. Those are fine with me. She likes the one and done.
Yeah.
So the NCIS, the Criminal Minds, that stuff, who have a one and done,
Well, they have
but they have a little.
Yeah, they
have a
do.
little arc.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah, you kind of have to.
But it's not like the whole, you know. But you get a complete story in every episode
Yes.
with those, or some other shows you don't. You have to watch the whole season to get the whole whole show.
I agree. You'd want some.
You have to have some
You had
consistency.
some solution to a problem in that one episode, even though the theme is going to carry on. Maybe they don't solve the big problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you know,
But
like
nowadays, they present a problem at the end of the episode so that you're hooked enough to continue to the next episode. Like if it's a streaming thing.
Yeah,
So
some of
I
that,
figured
like-
out I usually kill the episode in the dead center because that's when the lull is.
yeah, it is.
Because if
It's
not,
true.
they hook me and I'm just
That's
gullible
true.
enough to keep going.
Keep going.
And it's like, oh, it's been hours.
You know,
and
they
I-
might.
I might need to get
It's
up
just
tomorrow.
possible.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think
Maybe.
They might.
It's
They
clever.
might have figured that out.
so
they
clever.
know
But if you kill it in the
exactly what
middle,
they're
then
doing.
everything's tied up with a bow.
Yeah, that's the trick. You got to. Oh, they just right there. That's the
Solved
spot. Stop
that.
it in the middle.
Interesting.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I just don't have that much time.
Speaking of old movies, the one that I have been trying to catch again, and I think I'm just going to have to pay for it, which burns me, but you guys remember the movie Dave?
Yes.
Dave. Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah, where he
Kevin
was the president.
Kline
Yeah.
Yeah.
had to pretend to be the president.
Yeah.
I feel like that is something I need to rewatch right now.
It's good for the kids.
It's
Because that's what's
hilarious.
happening?
Because that's what's happening. I just was thinking the other day, I
Laura
was
went
like,
there.
it's like we're living in Dave.
Laura went there. I had forgot that even happened.
Oh man.
Anyway, check out Dave.
What a
It's
country.
hilarious.
Speaking of movies,
Yeah.
we get to go to the movies tomorrow.
Is that right?
We're leaving the farm.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that the name of the movie? Leaving
no.
the Farm. Okay.
That's the name of the episode
I thought things
On-
went to the farm.
of our life. So, do you guys watch Mike Rowe? Do you follow Mike Rowe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barbershop
So,
Quartet singer Mike Rowe.
that's pretty cool.
Opera
Yeah. His
singer.
Opera
as
singer
well.
Mike Rowe.
singing.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
love his podcast. They're usually, 9 out of 10 are good.
Yeah.
Really good conversation.
I liked his podcasts better when they were shorter. But that's
They
kind
do
of
get kinda
that's
long.
kind of a me thing. I started podcasting and looking, it's like 2 hours. Are you kidding me?
but
That's
if
a
it's
long
good,
It's good, but
You
know,
don't notice.
I only listen to podcasts while I'm driving.
And
Right.
that takes forever to get through 2 hours.
Yeah. Now I listen to my podcast on 1.75.
Oh, there you go.
So
I do
almost double. speed.
1.2 is as fast as I can do. Anyway,
You
so
can work your way up to it.
Mike Rowe
It's a progression.
has made a movie.
Oh,
Really?
Something to stand for. You haven't
Ooh.
seen this?
No.
I
It
wanna
hasn't
see
popped
it.
up on your social media?
I
need
want
to
to
know
see
about
this.
Okay, have you seen it?
No, I want
Or
to see it.
You have seen, heard of
Nope.
it? Haven't heard of it. You got to check it out. I'm excited. I am so excited.
Well, that's really cool.
Something-
It's
to stand for?
something to stand for. It's he's going to tell stories of the history of America and how the country was built. I'm super excited to see how
Brilliant.
he has done it.
Brilliant. Love it. Because we've been getting all these movies for the last 40 years that have been lying to people about our country.
Right.
And how it was formed and
Exactly.
created. And so it's really good that
So-
we're going to get some of the truth back out there again that we used to teach people.
The bummer and the excitement is it's in select markets, right? It's only being played June
Probably only
20th
being-
through July 5th or something.
Probably only being played in the places where it doesn't really need to be. I mean, we need to send it to California.
There you
So
go.
Send people something.
the closest places to see it are Joplin or Lake of the Ozarks.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
So it's a day
Well,
trip,
you
and
know,
we are headed to the
I'll,
Lake of the
I'll give-
Ozarks.
I'll
You're
give
gonna go
Mike
see
a
it?
call.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'll give
Okay.
Mike a call, see if we can't, get streaming on Planet 417.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
After the fact.
We actually are trying to help a local movie producer get a movie out there. It's called Glimmer. You can go on Planet 417. You can find the trailer for it, and it's in crowdfunding right now. And so you can actually help crowdfund this. It's a pro-life work. It's a really interesting concept, the way she does it. I met with her. I talked with her. She laid out the whole thing. Gayla Pruitt is her name.
Okay.
Writer, producer, director. Really, really cool story. Incredibly engaging. I really hope we can help her. We're not doing it; she's doing it, but we're behind her. We're helping her do it. It's going to be really cool.
You just do all kinds of things behind the scenes that people don't know about. Just kind of making friends and networks all over the place.
Well, we started a school.
That too.
Yeah, we've got Legacy Prep School. We started that here.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're going to do that. If you want to have a homeschool co-op, we'll do that. So what's your 4th of July plans?
Yeah, what do you got coming up for like the rest of the week? Because it's all a holiday, right?
Lots of family, lots of swimming, fireworks.
Family reunion in the street.
Yes, fireworks in the street. See if we can't blow a hole in the street. Kidding.
Yeah.
We won't.
What is what's the best food stuff at this reunion thing that you get absorbed into?
Ribs.
Ribs?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, they do it up right, don't they?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got a smoker in the group.
Yes.
Okay.
Shout out to LT, Lyle Tally.
Okay.
Yes, good Lyle. He's a great
really?
dude.
He's funny.
Lyle Tally. He's one of the true gems of the Logan Rogers community.
Yeah.
He is a great
Lyle.
guy,
Of course,
and
his late wife Nancy was one of my high school teachers.
Are some of your best memories not from Mrs. Tally
Yeah.
in high school? I mean, we
Wonderful
still
woman.
tell stories about her.
How could you not? How could you not?
She was amazing.
Just
Yeah.
fantastic woman.
So what are you doing for the rest of the holiday week?
Well, working.
Yes. After that.
No, I'm working today, working tomorrow. The 4th, we have the fam to the compound out there, so we breach the gate and let some people in. And we'll have. I'm the cook. I cook the food, the meat. So
Is there a
everybody-
specific meat?
It's hamburger. I mean,
Okay.
we do hamburgers, hot dogs. Sometimes I'll make. I've made some special items. I've made some bacon bombs before, and
Those like the pork bombs that have the
yeah. I've made some
sausage.
shotgun shells.
Yeah.
I've made
those are the
shotgun
ones with the
shells.
sausage with the wrap and
Yeah,
bacon. Those
yeah.
are amazing.
I've made those before, but I do the grilling, and then everybody that comes, every family brings a side or a dessert or something, and Mom and Dad provide the drinks, and then we just hang around. And depending on we've lost a lot of our musicians, but we used to be able to get up a band, a little
Nice.
bluegrass band, and I can play a little, my sister can play a little, and there's a few that can play a little.
Now, do you all still blow things up?
Oh yeah,
Yeah?
for sure. Yeah, we blow a lot of
Are
stuff
you
up.
kidding?
Yeah, we're the creators of the boom bucket.
See, this is what you
So if you didn't know, the boom bucket is a 5-gallon painter's bucket, and in the bottom we put a concrete paver, round concrete paver, and we get some 1.5 inch, 2 inch, 1.5 inch, I think it's 1.5 inch PVC pipe, cut it off, 8 sections, so it just barely sticks out the top of that bucket, right?
Okay.
So you got about that much PVC pipe. He's listening.
Yeah,
You
he
better be
is.
careful.
Pay
He's listening.
attention.
He's going to know. He's going to know how to do this.
He loves fireworks.
Okay, and then you go and you buy all those the mortar shells.
Like the
Yeah, the little balls.
Yep.
That you
And they give you the tube. Throw those tubes away. Those things are worthless. Man, they'll melt on you. They're no good. But you just like you're hulling walnuts. You just get rid of the boxes and you just make a big pile of all of the mortars, right? Like in a wheelbarrow. And then you set this boom bucket down out there, and you just wander down there, and you put 8 of them in there, and you twist some things together, and you get one of them charcoal lighters, set that thing off, and you run up to the crowd, and you just,
Do they
You get 8 of
sequence
them.
or they all go at once?
there's a little staggered to it.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the
but
way the
No science.
fuses would go.
Yeah, there's a little stagger to it, depending. Now, the most fun we ever had with the boom bucket was when some friends of ours were there, and they had some youngish children, not too young. They were that one's age, about like that.
About that size over
and,
there.
Best as we could surmise, he must have put that one of them mortar shells in upside down in the bucket. Because
Could go wrong with that.
it exploded first.
If everybody survives, it's a good story.
Yeah. It shattered the bucket. And now the other tubes are just laying out, all
who
laterally
knows where they're gonna
around. So we had about 2 or 3 of them mortar shells right up into the crowd and underneath Aunt Vera's chair and blowing up and sparks going everywhere. And nobody lost an eye, nobody got hurt, so it was all in good fun, but it was exciting.
I bet.
It was a
Was
good
this
time.
back in the day of great aunts?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm a grunkle.
I loved that you brought up the great aunt
I'm a-
thing because,
I'm a
like,
great uncle.
our family legacy is built upon a great aunt.
Yeah.
our family 4th of July legacy is built upon a great aunt also, because Aunt Mac was the original firecracker, and not just for the 4th of July. She was quite the woman. And we always had 4th of July at their house. There was always homemade ice cream because everybody milked cows then. Yeah. So it was kind of like, what flavor can you make? Everybody would bring their fireworks, and then it would like community fireworks. You'd put them in metal tubs, and everybody would just come pick and blow, and, so that it was a fun time. Well, Aunt Mac there used to be matches involved somehow, and so she was like trying to strike these matches, and she was dropping them in the bucket with the fireworks.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And everybody just kept backing up and backing up. So, yeah, great aunts
All
add
right.
lots
Now,
of flavor.
Children, the reason that the Gen X crowd is as tough as we are is because we killed off all the weak ones.
That's right. With boom
in
buckets.
The crowd, with boom buckets, and we had bottle rocket fights.
Holding them and throwing them.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, throw them. We would get a tube, and like I had my little cousin, he'd hold the tube on his shoulder, and I'd be shoving bottle rockets in the back of it, launching them. He'd be aiming them at the guys. And then we still build potato cannons. I built one last year. Have you ever shot a potato cannon?
yeah.
Yeah, you have. You have not?
No.
They're impressive.
It's legit a cannon. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like a cannon. It goes boom like a cannon, and it's just hairspray.
Yeah.
And
hairspray.
it'll throw a plugged potato. I think you could. We shot it. We did ballistic tests, so we shot it in the end of a round bale, and it buried it in there about that far. One that we made one time.
Interesting.
But the one I made last year, I had a defective part, apparently. We shot it off a couple of times. Now, when I build them, I use a push-button charcoal lighter.
That's cheating.
How do you do it?
I don't know. I've never done it. I just stand there while other people shoot.
Oh, you've never actually shot one.
No, I've held it.
You've held it.
But I'm not doing anything.
You're not pushing the button.
No, I'm just standing there.
No, so you get a clean out piece. This is all PVC plumbing.
I feel like they used to put something like a material in there to light in order to get it.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
You get a cap. You cap one end of it off. You just solid, and you get a clean out, screw out, clean out on the T. And then you got a bushing on the other end that takes it down to about a 1.5 inch barrel or 2 inch. And so you got this 4-inch T with a clean out and a cap and a bushing down to a 2. So you see your gun, right? And then the barrel off down there. And you can sharpen the end of the barrel with a file.
Okay.
So that you can, because you just jam the potato on the end of it, and you get a broomstick and you ram it down.
Yep.
Till it gets down there far enough.
This is intense.
Now I think, but there's an order to this. So, and then you drill a hole in the cap, right? And you string the probes, the electric snap probes from the charcoal propane grill lighter.
Okay.
Replacement, like if your grill's broke, if the starter's button's broke, you buy this replacement starter button. Well, that's what you buy, but you don't put it in the grill, you put it in this potato cannon. And you put that little sparker in there, and you use like some silicone, something to stick it in there. And so you got, and then you click it and make sure you can see the spark. It's sparking in the combustion chamber. So then it's all sealed up. And so you'll put the potato in the end so that you've got a good seal. Now it's airtight.
Yep.
And you unscrew the cap, and you just put a squirt. It doesn't take much. Just a little hairspray in it. Aquanet's the best, whatever.
Yes, more
Back in the
alcohol,
late 1900s, what all them girls was using in high school.
Can you still get that at Dollar General?
You can. It's available. It is
At Dollar
available.
General?
Aquanet.
Yeah.
It is available for purchase
They
today.
have upped their...
And so you spray it, and then real quick you put the cap on and you screw it in.
Yep.
And this is what I found was key. Then you plunge
Pressure.
the potato down, because you get a little compression. Get a little compression on your combustion chamber. And then you just hold it and you just push that button, and that little spark ignites that hairspray. Boom, and the potato just goes flying out of there, makes a nice big boom. It's really cool.
It's wonderful.
Now, we built this last year, and my youngest son, Jack, his fiance, her mother's military. And so I'm like, hey, you Robin, you want to shoot this? She said, oh, yeah, I'll shoot it. It failed on hers.
Oh, no.
That cap was weak. It blew out.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And
Did it
we're
go
like,
by her?
yeah, it didn't hit her,
Good.
which was good, but it did burn a hole through her shirt. But But she's coming back this year, so I think
You
it'll all be
talked
okay.
about survival, you
Yeah.
know, of this generation and how we killed all the weak ones off. It's not just, you know, being killed by the crazy things that went on. It's also the technology. And not like the technology
had to
that we
figure
had.
things
Yeah,
out.
it's this technology up here. It's
Yeah.
the mental fortitude
Yeah.
to figure stuff out and
There was
come up
no-
with this
Yeah.
contraption that he has described here, which you should put that in writing so
Oh,
people can...
people
It's,
have.
it's
you know.
another reason why there were several that died off because the things didn't get quite fixed or translated properly. So then we'd be like, oh, my buddy made a potato gun. This is how you do it. And it was,
Right.
like, all wrong.
Well, you know, people they'd use metal parts and ether, car starter ether,
Okay,
and
so-
that was a really bad idea.
How do you do it where you put like a little piece of like filament or something in there? Did they use steel wool? What did they put in there to
Was it
not-
like a
when you didn't have the
fuse?
electric niter?
Was it like a
Well,
fuse
this
and
is
they would
just
light
this
it?
is what I think I'm doing. What you're doing, it's just a snap.
I don't think we
there's,
had that.
There's
though.
no
I felt like
power.
we had to stick a lighter down in a hole.
Well, now you have an assignment. You have to go figure it out.
Well, there was one I made one time where the first one I made, you had to put we did it with a firecracker. We'd stick a firecracker through the hole and light the firecracker.
Maybe that's what we did.
But the push button works amazing.
well, yeah, that's way more.
I mean, that's
It-
like Gen
it's
2.
shockingly reliable.
way more high tech.
Shockingly reliable.
Totally Gen
But
2.
the thing you got to remember to do is because you're not mounting that clicker, you got to duct tape it. Because if you don't, your finger will be and you'll shock yourself.
Oh,
Because
yes.
you're holding the part where the shocker, the wires are. So you got to wrap it up real good. Speaking of wrapping it up,
Hey, if you have not had enough,
see, segue. That's why I'm here.
if you have not had enough community fun for the 4th of July and you need something to do, you're still touching things.
At least it's not connected.
There's a celebration in Fordland on the 4th of July. I happen to know that the Fordland FFA chapter is selling concessions as a fundraiser, so that would be fun. Yours truly is going to be starring in the Marshfield 4th of July parade. Did you know it's like the longest running 4th of July parade or something? It's a big
Well,
deal.
Yeah, because
Wow.
George Herbert Walker Bush came
Yeah.
back in the late
So,
1900s.
I don't know that-
in the parade.
So
Wow.
truly, I don't know that it's anything about me at all, but it'll be kind of like a Where's Waldo thing.
President Herbert
You can see if you can find me amongst the crazy.
Okay.
I mean, there's be a lot of it, right? We're going to do that. So if you like parades, you
float?
can do that.
Are you on a float?
I really hope to walk because I don't want to ride. I think I'll walk. And if you are in search of tasty local brats or ground beef for your hamburgers, trot on down to Turner Station before Thursday. We've got our locally raised beef products down there that
Yum.
will make your cookout amazing.
Yum, yum.
And if you want to remodel your house, Laura will draw your plans for you.
Sure.
That's right. You're going to start on that next week, right after the holiday.
Hey,
Everybody
thanks for
else.
joining us this morning. We will be back next week with more waffle.